This is the Retirement Solution Podcast with financial advisor Jon Hicks, founder of J. Hagan Capital.
Can you retire early? A question many people have for many different reasons. And the perspective that Carrie Malautek gives is just one.
I'm just tired. I'm just stinking tired. And there are days when I just wonder, how much more can I do? I mean, I'm not retirement age yet, so still got to crank it out. But man, there are days when I just go, can I do it now? Can I just call it a day? I don't know.
Oh, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
That is the sound of a worn woman.
How many millions of Americans have that exact same thought every single day? Can I retire tomorrow? Can I retire yesterday? When can I get retired? Retire. It's what people think about. But I tell you one thing, Heather, what I have noticed the most, when people think I want to retire early, it's where our brain goes. Because we think at one point in time, I'm going to hang this up. What they're really saying often is not that they want to retire early. They're saying, I'm exhausted.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. I just want to retire from this. Take what this is, right? It may not even be the job. It may be that one particular boss, or it may be that one particular project that's been going on for months or years longer than you thought. And for many of us, it could just be basically anyone at the age of 50 or over. It could just be that the body is just not recovering the way it used to, and the weekend is not long enough for us to feel like we've gotten any useful downtime, so that Monday morning just hurts that much more. This is not only standard, it's expected in the rat race that we run in this country.
Did you see this note here about Terry? She commutes 2 hours a day. Forget about it.
I mean, I bet you that my commute is less than 2 hours a week. Truly, when I'm thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And I could not even imagine 2 hours a day. But this is what I'm talking about, right, guys? Yeah. So whether it's, okay, the reason that she has a 2 hour commute is because at one point in time, she said, hey, I'm tired of living in this one particular area. I want to go out to a really nice suburb, and I want to live out there because I'd much rather have But what happens, you get used to it. And in the beginning, it's okay. You get over it, and at some point in time, you realize, why did I do this? Mm-hmm. What is this for? Mm-hmm. Now that the kids are out of school, and I don't have to live like this, and I don't have to go in there, what can I do? What should I do?
Right.
So this is a normal occurrence, and frankly, this is probably one of the biggest things when someone says, John, I'm 61, can I retire at 62? The main thing we need to focus on is, number one, are we really wanting to retire? Which means we have a game plan, not of what we're leaving from, but what we're going to go to. Do we know what we're going to fill our time with on that standard Tuesday morning? Do we know what we're going to do on that standard Thursday evening? Are we going to play bunco? Are we going to do our church choir? What are we going to do? And do we have enough to keep ourselves busy for that 35 to 60 hours a week we were putting at the job? And most of the time, unfortunately, what I find is not quite. Right? So there's two fundamental things I want to talk about, Heather, because they're two major things and they're two very different. Number one, if it is exhaustion or just mentally, you're just in a different place and that job that you've been doing for 12, 15, 20 years just is not giving you that comfort anymore. There's just that passion or that it's not checking the box. Mm-hmm. The question is, could you potentially do better monetarily by shifting careers? Most people don't think about this, especially when we're baby boomers or older Gen Xers. We think, well, I've been putting in my time at this business. This is the best place for me. Well, that is not the case at all. Study after study after study show that people that actually move up the ranks the fastest in corporate America or with their jobs are the ones that jump ship more often. Think about that. Very different than how many of us were raised. We were told, hey, be the best worker, do the hardest, make yourself indispensable to the company, all that kind of stuff, and they will reward loyalty. Ladies and gentlemen, it proves exactly otherwise, that you will potentially be treated with more honesty, with more opportunity if you go to a new place because the new broom sweeps cleanest, right? Mm-hmm. You may actually do better by simply finding a different occupation or a different job in your career field with a different company, right? So the first thing is that we need to isolate. Is it exhaustion, or does you need a change of pace, or do you really want to retire? Yeah. Because when it comes to retirement, this is very simplistic. It's really not even tough at all. Mathematically, my team will be able to find out with relative ease what it's going to take to get you retired. And here's the big thing. Is that something you're willing to stick to, right? Because Heather, what I would say is almost anyone can retire early. The question is, can they stay retired? That's the biggest thing. I mean, we see this even from multimillionaire sports people and athletes when they're like, hey, I'm going to retire at age 36. Why? Well, because at 36, they may not be as good of a pro athlete as they used to be,
right,
but they've got millions of dollars in the bank. But what they don't realize is, but can they stay retiring at age 36, knowing that they may live into their 90s, right? Do they have enough money for that? Do they have enough income sources coming in later? But mathematically, it's very easy to solve for. Do we have enough money coming in to support what we want to have going out? But the exhaustion thing is a bigger piece of the puzzle. Okay. That's what everyone has to address. Could they potentially find something that they're more interested in that might buy them 3 or 4 or 5 years of more work? So hopefully we can make sure that we're taking care of healthcare costs, making sure we're before Medicaid kicks in, making certain we're not forced to turn on Social Security too soon, where we end up not getting as much out of the system that we've paid in for our entire adult lives, right? Those are the things we want to make sure we're taking account of. But that's really what it comes down to. We need to look at a process. How do we get retired correctly?
Okay.
And the majority of us, by the time we're 55, by the first time we start having those inklings of, man, how much longer do I want to do this? That's when you need to start seeking out advice. What can you do? Could you really honestly retire within 6 months with a couple small changes? Are we really going to have to gut it out for 3 or 4 more years so that you can have the retirement you want? What are ways that we can bridge that, right? Do you not really need a full retirement, but you just may need a 6-month sabbatical where you can just recheck, refresh, do all those things mentally so that you're prepared to go back out there? Or maybe we need to take care of some physical ailments, right? Maybe get some proper reconditioning on those knees, or making sure that we're getting our ankles looked at. If we need to go ahead and have something done, can we make sure that we are prepared on what that's going to be like if we have downtime from the work? But those are the big things we need to be thinking about whenever I hear these stories where a 2-hour commuter is kind of like, hey, man, what can I do? How can I fix this?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, if you've got questions about when can you retire, Jon and his team, they're here to help you run the numbers, understand what your options are. You can reach out to us at retirementsolutionshow.com or click on the links we've got posted in the show notes. We talk about the emotional part of retirement for so many. And that was the first thing you brought up here. The first thing you got to evaluate is, where's the exhaustion coming from?
Absolutely.
But when you're talking to folks about retiring early, because the exhaustion factor is real for different reasons, do you see the conversation then switch to, it's like, okay, well, let's do this. And then you talk about leaving the job, and then all of a sudden they're afraid. And they're like, no. Because it's interesting how our brain can, if the opportunity is presented, then we're like, oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. That sounds terrifying.
I would say 7 out of 10 times. That's what people realize. Is like, hey, we can actually get you there. Here's what it would look like, and here's all we need. We probably need about 6 more months of work, because we just need to either knock off this one bill, or pay that one car off, or get to where we're almost done with the mortgage, or refinance the lake house. Those often things, those are really simplistic to do. We do those every single day in our office, trying to get people to make those right decisions. But you'd be surprised, Heather, how many people still go, oh, wow, so I can get there. But hold on. Now, what am I going to do? What Jon, you mentioned, what am I going to do on a standard Tuesday morning? I don't know. I don't even know what daytime TV looks like anymore.
You don't want to. Keep that. Leave that not on the to-do list.
If your day is going to be spent in retirement watching daytime TV, I would suggest you just
keep working.
Find a different job that you might actually love, but find something different, right? We don't want to retire to that.
Yeah. All right. So we got to evaluate our exhaustion levels, figure out where that's actually coming from, then run the numbers to figure out where we actually stand, and then determine where that leads us. Is it really that we want to stop working altogether? Are there other options in front of us? Start seeking out the advice, because these are the initial questions that I assume a lot of people, they don't even know they need to be asked.
Yeah, and they don't know to ask them because they've been doing the same thing for 20, 30, 40 years of working, right?
Yeah,
and this is where it changes. Where it changes is, how can we quit work so that we're feeding an account to allowing that account to basically feed us for income over the next 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah. And it is one of those things that is not often a decision you can make in a day, even if the math works. It often takes many, many months, if not years, to properly put into place a retirement strategy. No joke. Now, that shouldn't be any reason for someone to say, oh my gosh, it could take years, I don't want to do it. Other way around. It means that if we're 55 plus, and we have not really done the math on when could we do things, and we're thinking about an early retirement, guys, you're already behind the 8 ball. But it's an easy fix. You just have to find out who you're comfortable with, getting that information from. If you listen to this show, call our team. Here's the thing. There's nothing that we can sell you as a product goes. We're looking for the process. Can you get retired? Would that make you comfortable? Do you understand the thousands or even more options that are available? And what is the one that you can stick to? You know, the one thing I'd say about a really good, skilled, holistic advisor is there should never just be one way to achieve the win. There should be dozens or hundreds of ways. And you should find out, but what one can you stick to? Because all of the geniuses in the world that come up with the most masterful plans ever, if you don't stick to it, no joke, guys, it's literally worthless. So we just want to find the plan that you can stick with. And what most people find out is they've just been thinking about it differently. They've been thinking about, man, if I could just, and what they really are thinking about is if I could just not go in on Monday mornings at 6, like I always do. If I could just go in Monday, like from 11 to whatever, they realize it would completely change their paradigm of thought or their comfort level or whatever it is. Or there's one job of their course of their standard weekly thing that they just hate. Well, fine, let's get an intern to do that one job. And now we don't hate it anymore, right? So the mathematics are easy to solve for. We have to make sure that it's what we want to solve for, right? The life that we're solving for. And then here's the biggest one, guys. Can we stick with it? Because it's not about never making tweaks. It's about making small incremental tweaks that get closer to what exactly you want your life to look like. That is so doable. Most people don't realize that not only is it doable, it's done by the greatest, the most successful retirees, which aren't the richest. They're the ones that are the happiest. The ones that can do the things they want when they want. That's what they often have, no matter how much money they've saved. They get a plan they can stick with that allows them to do what they want. And that is how we have a successful retirement in general.
Can you retire early? Jon and his team here to show you what your options are. Reach out, retirementsolutionshow.com, or click on the links we've got posted in the show notes.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with Jon Hicks. Begin the conversation about your savings plan with Jon and the team at J. Hagan Capital by visiting retirementsolutionradio.com. Be sure to listen to Jon's radio show, The Retirement Solution, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. on News Radio 840 WHAS.
J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through J. Hagan Capital, LLC, NPN number 188279094.